Dear Lord, and I don't mean Lord Vader. Sorry, I don't even know why I threw that in. I'm not even a Star Trek fan. Dear Vietnamese Jesus, I just wanted to bless the GX community, especially the ones that were born Asian, that had parents who bought them a Lexus GX460 for getting straight A's throughout high school and getting into a real university with an engineering degree. Vietnamese Jesus, I also want to bless all the white men out there that bought this expensive truck way into their late 30s and 40s on a 5-year payment plan because their parents thought it was a great idea to bring up children to embrace independence in order to survive the real world. Who else am I missing? I got Asian, I got white, and lastly, I'm not going to go into specifics in fear of YouTube canceling me, but I pray for all the other races to bring our trucks back in excellent condition after they used it to rob liquor stores and gas stations with. Amen. Oh, what is this? What is this? Is this for me? What is it? All right. Hey guys, I am so excited. I had to drive all the way home backwards. That's how exciting I was. So exciting I could shoot a load all over my little sister's face right about now. I cannot wait to open this box. This is going to be the very first time I'm going to be opening this box in front of you guys, okay? So let's check it out, guys. All right, let's take it out to the floor here. Let me go get a pair of razor blades. Here goes the moment of truth, folks. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. So far we got a box that says R. All right, let's go ahead and set this in the back of our truck. And just as I suspect, we have a box that is labeled L. So, all right. Let's go ahead and open up this bad boy. I'm opening up left first. All right, here's the left. We got some adapter in here. We'll figure this one out in a little bit. Let's set this aside. Whoo! Look at this bad boy, huh? Look at this bad boy. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Whoo! Looks like it's been saran wrapped to death. The corners protected with a couple of foam cups here. Let's set this aside. Let's take off the saran wrap real quick here. And let's be awed in its magnificence. Woo! Look at this bad boy. First thing I'm going to check, guys, is this corner right here for any cracks. Then I'm going to go along the periphery to check for any signs of cracks. Look at that. All the corners need to be intact. Woo! After I check all the corners, after I check all the borders to see if there's no stress cracks, I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to look at these tabs. Make sure these tabs are intact. Make sure this tab is intact, no cracks. I'm going to make sure these two tabs on the bottom is intact. And I'm going to look at this plug right here. This plug is supposed to be plug and play to our Lexus GX460. It's got 4 pins in it, okay? If you don't have this plug, then it is not going to fit into your GX460, and you are going to have to do some rewiring all yourself. But this right here is already delivered with lights for you. The top one, I'm assuming it's going to be a regular amber light bulb for your turn signals. You can go ahead and replace this with LED if you want to, or hell, just keep it. Orange is the new thing now, so I've heard. Down here shouldn't be a light bulb because your Lexus OEM is not a light bulb also. It's a chipboard down here, so if I open this up, it should be wired to a chipboard. Oh, there you go, just as I suspected. So when I install this and plug it up, I'm going to do some tests to make sure that nothing is faulty or fails on me. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this aside. Woo! Nice. Let's go look at the right hand side. Woo! Thank you, Lord. Let's go ahead and open up the right hand side here. Hopefully nothing has cracked. The box comes with this extra adapter. I'm not exactly sure what it's for, but I am positive this is an adapter for a different type of trim for the Lexus GX in a different country. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this aside. Let's open this bad boy up. Look at this, guys. Holy smokes. Please don't be cracked. Please don't be cracked. Please don't be cracked. I do not want to send this back. Please, I want to install these tonight. I want to install it right now so I could go cruising with it and so I could get some hot bitches. Because, you know, bitches love guys that drive with shit like this. Let's set it down here. Let's move the box out. Let's go ahead and take this foam cup off here. Very carefully remove the saran wrap, this clear plastic. Woo! God, this is a beauty. I'm checking along the borders here for cracks, the corners. I'm checking the seal jobs here. I'm checking all the brackets. If they're intact, nothing is cracked. Very important, because you don't want a loose part on your car. Every time you hit a speed bump or something, this thing's going to fly and shoot back to the Toyota Sienna in back of you, carrying a family of 4 Pakistanis on their way to Disneyland. You don't want that. Make sure there's a light bulb that's still in here. Yes, there is. Woo! I might just replace this with LEDs. Who knows? I got the 4-pin plug right here. Okay. Only tools you're going to need for this remove and installation is a wide body plastic trim tool to dislodge your lights. You're going to need a 10mm socket, preferably with an extension, at least 2 inches extension, and a ratchet. And to help you along, you're going to need a drill motor with a fat Phillips head. First things first, we're going to want to remove these 2 10mm bolts. Set it aside here. Set that aside. Next, you are going to take your wide plastic trim tool right here, and you're going to start prying it towards you, towards the tail end, okay? There you go. Use your other hand to help it along, and it's going to pop out freely. When you remove this, you're going to have one plug and one plug only. All you have to do is push down on the notch and dislodge the male from the female connector and take it out. You're going to take your brand new Blackline tail lights and you're going to plug it in. It only goes one way. There's a notch right here. It only goes in one way. Snap it into place. Okay. We're going to take our plug and we're going to shove it down inside this little crevice right here so it stays out of the way when you slide your brand new tail lights in. And when you slide your tail lights in, you're going to take note of this little notch right here that's going to slide into this plastic little button right here. Okay. Here's the little button I'm talking about. You're going to have to put your head down here and slide that notch onto that little button. It's going to snap into place. After it snaps into place, you're going to look at all the creases to make sure it's a really good fitment. As you can see, I have absolutely no gaps whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and put my 10mm bolts back in. Perfect. Make sure it's not loose, it's in very tight. I'm going to go back to see if the installation I just did, if I made any force pressures anywhere that causes any type of cracks or breaks, and it looks great. Let's go ahead and start on the right hand side. Okay folks, in order to do the right hand side, your tail hatch has to be completely open 100% for you to access the two 10mm bolts on the inside. After you're taking out the two 10mm bolts on the inside, we're going to close our door about halfway, about 50%, in order to slide that part out. Okay, so let's go ahead and take out these two 10mm real quick. I normally start off with a socket and a ratchet just to break it out loose first before I use my drill motor. Okay, two 10mm are out. Now, here comes the fun part. We are going to take our wide plastic trim tool. We are going to close this door about 50% of the way. We're going to go to the outside of our vehicle. We're going to take our plastic trim tool and we're going to stick inside the crevice right here, and we're going to start prying till the lights shoot backwards, okay? After it gets dislodged, we can go ahead and start removing it. And this is the reason why we had our door out 50%, in order to weasel our black bracket out. You're going to do the exact same thing you did to the left hand side. You're going to go ahead and unplug this light plug here. Voila. Now we're going to take our brand new light assembly for the right hand side. We're going to plug it in just like we did to the left hand side until it snaps into place. There you go. We're going to take our plug and we're going to shove it inside this little crevice down here. We're going to take these two black tabs, top and bottom. We're going to weasel it into this crease with our tailgate open, lining up our tailgate. And at the same time, we have to remember that we also have to accommodate this plug down here, this little plastic button that's got to go inside of that slot. So we're going to have to go on two different fronts here to make this happen. There you go. So at this point, I am going to go ahead and look at all the creases, any gaps. I can go ahead and fully open the door again in order to access those two 10mm bolts. I'm going to take the 10mm bolts. I'm going to start screwing them by hand first. The last thing you want to do is start cross-threading everything. Go ahead and drive it through with your drill motor after you get a couple of threads in there. Very last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and use my ratchet and snug it in. Another quarter of a turn, nothing more than that. So what do you guys think, huh? You know what I really like about these? How the taillights just fit in with the rest of the truck's appearance. It's aesthetically badass looking, if you ask me. I know I did a video on the installation of the original style Scarlet taillights before they ended up smoking the lenses for the sports trim models. I did that to be different, to stand out from the rest of all the other GXs with outdated Altezza style clear lights. And I reminded you guys about those clear taillights when I invented the word fugly in my other video. I'm not going to tell you what fugly stands for. You're just going to have to watch the other video and find out what it means. But the more I looked at it every single time I came out of my truck, the more I feel the red just didn't belong anywhere on my truck. Why do you think I cleared out my rear bumper lights? And that's not all, folks. Here's another reason why I went to Blackline style. If you take a look at my Alpha Rexes, you'll notice the taillights and the headlights complement each other. I feel like we are moving away from the soccer mom SUV to the badass rig that this truck was meant to be. Anyone that has done their homework like I have, you will find out that this pair is close to $1,000. I even went to the cheapest Lexus dealer on the planet with my friends at Bell Lexus of Scottsdale, Arizona, and they were more than $400 each. Sorry, Bell Lexus, I love you to death. I'm probably one of your best customers when it comes to all these aftermarket accessories, but I'm just gonna have to say, even though you are the cheapest out of all the Lexus dealers, $400 plus each per taillights was just a little too much for me. Anyone close to me knows I'm broke and borderline homeless, so I'm not paying more than $1,000 for a pair of these taillights from Lexus with tax and shipping. What I will pay is $300 and some change for this pair. So folks, if you click on the link below this video or type in GX460 black housing taillights, you will reach an Amazon page that retails the pair for $348 with free shipping. The company is called F1. It's spelled F-I-O-N-E. They are the makers of aftermarket lights for quite a few cars and trucks, including the Lexus GX460. But check this out. On the Amazon page, there is a box you can check for an instant coupon for another $30 off, which will bring the price down to $318 for the pair, guys, not each, for the pair. So let's talk about quality. I'm sure a lot of you guys are really adamant on buying things that are quality made. Folks, if you already noticed, most all of the mods and accessories that we've done on our vehicle up till now were not made in the USA. That's not to say they were cheaply made or they're a piece of junk and they're gonna fall apart. But here's the good thing, guys. We have the power of Amazon on our side. In order to sell on Amazon, sellers must abide by the strict refund and exchange policy that has made every single purchase I've done a guarantee of satisfaction. You don't have to go back and forth like you do with eBay every single time you have a complaint on a specific product. So rest assured, the minute you open the box, the product is now in your hands to do whatever you want with it. You could check it out, look at it, inspect it, and inspect it some more. Drive it around, test it, abuse it for one entire month, 30 days. And then you have the choice to keep it, enjoy it, and look badass with it, or return it and go back to your shitty looking OEM taillights. So in my case, I'm keeping these bad boys.